exciting show for you. But first, let's get some background. I love steak, and I love the restaurants that make them, and my two especially favorite ones are Capital Grille and Ruth Chris. Unfortunately, due to this pandemic, COVID-19, I have not been able to go to either and fulfill my carnivorous appetite. But today, in honor of Ruth Chris, we are going to master and cook the Ruth Chris Tomahawk steak. We're gonna reverse engineer it, and we're gonna show you exactly how to cook it. Okay, we've never done this before, but you know how we do it here. We're gonna take out this bad boy, this tomahawk steak. All right, it's a nice, well-marbled piece of meat, ribeye cut. We're gonna slap it in and out, and we're gonna let it sit.
Wait, why are you slapping the steak?
Because that's what all the cooking videos they slap their pieces of meat. So we're gonna let it sit room temperature for about 2 hours. We're gonna season it, and then we're gonna cook this bad boy.
Guys, so we're gonna move on to the second stage. We're gonna season, marinate this beautiful tomahawk. A lot of people do a lot of different things, but we're gonna keep it simple with kosher salt and black pepper. Remember, always use kosher salt. It just tastes better than regular salt. I'm not sure why, but it does. But we're gonna go in it with a handful of salt here. It's a pretty thick.
Hold on. Don't rush the process. You gotta remember, you also gotta measure the thickness of your steak. About 2 inches thick, 10 inches thick, so I think we can saute this big bad boy as well.
You sure you're getting those measurements right? Anyway, the steak is pretty thick, so we're gonna go in with quite a bit of salt. So with a thick steak, you wanna marinate it pretty generously. You want all the marination to seep in there because it is thick, so it'll take a bit.
I wonder how much these steak houses make off of their tomahawk steak. They're pretty expensive at the restaurants.
And the same thing with pepper. Make sure you get a generous amount all over there. All right, now it's time to put in our thermometer. Make sure you don't shove it in too deep. You just need the tip of the thermometer. We're gonna cook it until it hits an internal of 118. So we're expecting it'll probably be an hour and a half, but however long it takes, we're gonna take it out at that temperature. All right, the oven is set at 250, and we're just gonna stick this in there until it's done. And then after it hits an internal of 118, we're going to pull it out and sear it.
So while we're waiting for this awesome tomahawk steak to cook, I did some Googling, and I found out something very, very interesting. I found out that Ruth Chris is actually a publicly traded company. I didn't know that, did you? So now I must do my financial probing, and the Gordon Gecko is coming out.
Come on, we gotta go. The steaks are gonna burn, man.
All right. We'll pick up on this again, but first I gotta finish this tomahawk masterpiece. All right, now it has hit an internal level of 118, actually above 118. And now we are going to take it out. Ooh, that looks juicy.
All right, now we've preheated the grill, so it's really flaming hot right now. And we're gonna sear the steak on the grill. Hopefully it turns out pretty well. Woo. Woo, that's hot. All right, you ready?
Oh, that's nice. You can hear that nice sizzling. It's getting a nice sear right there. You can even see the smoke.
All right, now all we have to do is we have to close the grill and wait for it to cook. Look at that.
And now you can see it really cooking. Look at that sizzle. Look at that fire. Wow, that is a nice piece of meat.
Let's go.
Wow.
All right, just put it on its side. Just make sure that it's all fully cooked on each side. Remember that paddle too. Yep. All right, look at that.
That's meat perfection right there.
All right, and all we have left to do is let this sit for 10 minutes, let it rest, so that all the juices stay inside of the meat, and then we can cut into this. While we're waiting for the steak, we're just going to make a quick scallion garlic olive oil mix. We love scallions, we love all this stuff, so it'll be really great, really complimentary on top of this awesome tomahawk steak. Okay, do you see how it's smoking a little bit? That means that the oil is ready to go. It's ripping hot. So we're gonna put in our scallion first. And it's gonna sizzle up. Awesome. Just gonna stir it around a little bit, get the mix up, make sure they don't burn. Then right after, follow it up with some garlic. Salt. Alright, and this is all going to combine. It's going to be delicious, and that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple thing, but it's going to be really great on top of our steak. Alright, time to cut into this baby. Oh, look at that. Oh, perfection. Medium rare, wall to wall. Oh, look at that.
Ready, Julian? It's hot.
Oh, wow. Now you can't get more American like this. That's a good steak. Okay, I don't want to speak for the family, but I think we can all agree to disagree that I kind of deserve this. So let's take the first bite into this bone. Oh yeah. Now that's how you eat tomahawk steak. Well, what do you guys think? Success? I think it was a pretty huge success if I do say so myself. I think I might even apply as a sous chef for Ruth Chris. But the real question is, do I spend my money on Ruth Chris steak or do I spend it on Ruth Chris stock? Let's analyze. Alright, so here we have an overview of Ruth Chris's pre-COVID and in-COVID financials, and we can see the financial stability in 2019 and the total bloodbath in 2020. If we take a look at the end of 2019, Ruth Chris had a market cap of more than $600 million, and their stock price ended with a solid $22.12. Their annual 2019 revenues were pretty positive at more than $400 million, and net income was rising at above $15 million. Now, when we enter 2020 and the pandemic has already taken effect on countries, we can see a dramatic decrease in literally everything. Ruth Chris's lowest market cap falls to a mere $116 million, lowest stock price tumbles to only $4. This is crazy. And their 2020 revenues look like they've halved, and net income turns negative $25 million. So looking at Ruth Chris's situation in 2020 seems pretty disappointing. Now it's 2021 and we're almost post-COVID. We're almost getting back to normal, which means Ruth Chris's business is starting to get back to normal as well. So here's the key. Things for Ruth Chris are getting better and fast. If we compare 2021 restaurant sales to 2019 restaurant sales, we can see that 2021 has actually been winning by 2.1% in April and 6% in May. That means that their sales are positive and beating 2019 sales, which were in normalized conditions. So this could be just a starting point to some stronger financial growth in the next few months for Ruth Chris. Now let's take a step back and look at some of the challenges versus opportunities Ruth Chris may encounter. For some background, recently I attended the Jefferies Consumer Conference where Ruth Chris presented at, and they mentioned a lot of challenges they've been facing. Now, some of the major ones were beef inflation and recovery time. I know, beef inflation kind of sounds crazy, but it is true. COVID-19 has caused an inflation on beef prices. Beef is becoming more expensive, which could be a disruptor in the supply and demand chain for Ruth Chris. Recovery time is also a challenge because, like I said before, Ruth Chris has had a rough year, and who knows when they can fully recover back to a secure state like they were pre-COVID. So recovering fast is important for their business. Now, what are some of the opportunities? Number one, they're pretty well capitalized. They've got some good cash coming in, which leads me to the number two opportunity, expansion. They plan to expand their business and restaurants, and they have the capital to back these expansion plans. Also, don't forget, Ruth Chris could be able to negotiate better rent terms, which could ease their operating expenses a bit. Now, for the last opportunity, the third opportunity, a new type of business they plan to go into that will help their profitability and business efficiency is curbside business. This can make their expansion plans easier and greater. Okay, now this is kind of interesting because as we can see at the end of 2019, Ruth Chris had a stock price of $21.83. The current 2021 stock price is $22.77. So these two stock prices are pretty similar and close, but the point of time they are at are pretty much different. 2019 was a good, strong year for Ruth Chris. 2021, however, is simply in the recovery stages. So to see these two prices close together begs the question, is there room to go higher? To be honest, I like Ruth Chris and I think it can go way above its current price. And you know what? The professionals agree with me. Like Raymond James, these top analysts say that Ruth Chris is a strong buy with a price target of $30 to $31. Now for the ultimate question, what would you choose? If you had $130, would you buy and order a nice Ruth Chris Tomahawk ribeye? Or would you buy roughly five shares of Ruth Chris with that $130? Let me know what you guys vote down in the comments below. Thanks again, and as always, we are not giving you any financial or investment advice. Do your own homework. The only thing we're recommending is eating a big Ruth Chris Tomahawk steak.